Alright, so today we'll be looking at Azrael's account. Let's see, account review. So let's first look at what they have. As you can see, they have Brent, Lupa, Shopkeeper, Carthasia, Chacona, Carlotta. They have the premium teams, which is pretty good. Carlotta, Tien, Farina, Encore. Ooh. Okay, Aero Rover, Lumi and 90, Motefi, Elcharo, Lingyang, Dungeon Alto, Yang Yang Yuanwu, Baizu Jinsing, Yuhu, and the rest are level 1. But from what we can already see, this person knows how to build their team. How to submit viewer account reviews? Well, just drop me a DM and then I'll arrange for a I'll arrange for an account review when I can. Level 70 Liang, what was bro doing with Liang? Maybe they were pretty interested in trying to get Liang to something viable to work with. But yeah, at first glance, well, they have the premium team, Grand Lupa, Carthasia, Chacona, and then there's Jiyan with Motefi, level 90 Motefi, that's just wow. Dedication, Carlotta and Lumi, beautiful. And then I guess Encore is kind of like there or when they ever need to use Encore. And Sanhua level 1, which is, yeah. Though I would say that if you want to use Sanhua, use Overture. And then, okay, Moonlit Clouds, yep. Okay, let's see. Type breaking, let's look at the stats. 60% crit rate, 250% crit damage. Do you have S1? You don't. Do you have S? So that means you'll definitely be using Shopkeeper with friends. Otherwise, his crit rate is going to really suffer. So, that said, I am actually highly impressed that you still have 60% crit rate despite going crit damage Dragon of Dirge. That is not easy to hit. 4-5, absolutely diabolical, because why is the last one not crit damage? So close to greatness, yes so far. Okay, double crit, basic attack, very nice, I like it. Double crit, basic, I like it. Okay, double crit, basic attack, wow. I mean, 2 lowest rolls, but when you get a 4-5, that's something super worth. And from what I'm seeing in your team here, this is, yeah, because double energy regen works because they have Lupa. So if your brand is standalone, then you might want energy regen and fusion. But since they have Lupa to buff brand in terms of fusion damage, double energy regen works better with brand. Based on what I remember. But honestly, the difference is not that large. So this brand is pretty cracked when you have Shopkeeper to buff brand. And let's see, Lupa has, oh wow, okay, he even has the signature weapon. This is GG's. Brand has all the fusion buff he needs. 4 out of 5 stats, freaking beautiful. This one's just heartbreak. Look at this. Okay, so you know what I say about like Echoes being a hell of a debate. When you see 2-5, I mean when you plus 10 and then you see 2 stats that you need and you're just like, holy shit, it's a double crit. And then the next 3 stats just proceed to give you shit. Yep, this is the kind of heartbreak. But double crit, not bad, not bad. Ah, where is the crit rate? This 4 out of 5 with no crit rate is again diabolical. Energy regen, crit rate, resistance liberation. Okay, still a pretty good piece. Double crit, liberation, very nice. Now for the crit rate is 66.2%. With Shopkeeper, it will be around 78. So it's not too bad. Could be better, but not too bad. If not for this thing. But I think if you really want to improve on your stats, right, 4-5s are way harder to replace than this one. So I would say probably like focus on this one if you ever do want to. Or if you're like satisfied with your Lupa, then I guess I shall leave. You can leave her as it is. For Lupa, I think energy regen, yeah, 116 is good enough.
わかった。
Now
あなたが
Shopkeeper,
そう望むなら
240% energy, beautiful. Gambling substats at its finest. Oh, R5 variation, wow. Okay, yeah, R5 variation is very nice. We should probably lock this one. Why you want to lock that one, very important, is because when you upgrade, okay, basically the other day what happened on my account is that when I upgraded 4 stars and below, I was just like, oh, auto select, auto select, auto select. Then what happened is that I accidentally fused one of my variations away, which you kind of don't want that happening. So yeah, HP, crit damage, energy regen. Honestly, you only need crit damage and energy regen if you're like, if you want to do if you want your Shopkeeper to have a bit more DPS. That's perfectly fine. What the heck? 4-5 piece on a Shopkeeper. Pretty high roll HP, pretty high roll energy regen. Wow, even the subs, even the sub, I mean, even the support has pretty good sub stats. The support's eating well, eating really well. Energy regen, crit rate, HP. Ah, I would say Shopkeeper doesn't really need crit rate. So if you really have nothing else and no one else you wanna improve on, then maybe you can try to look at this. Probably get HP, fat HP, HP percentage, and crit damage. Honestly, that's all that's left you need for Shopkeeper. The support ate all the rolls. No, they look at their brand. Absolutely cracked. Freaking cracked. And look at Lupa. Whoa, 4-5. So to say support ate all the roles? No. If anything, the support is the one that's letting the DPSs eat all the roles first before cleaning up the rest of the stats that the DPS do not need. Which is insane. Insane. Carthathia, 50,000 HP, pretty chunky already. 125. Well, that's way more than enough. Quite a lot of crit rate. Decent crit damage. Yep, signature weapon. Okay, beautiful. Double crit HP. That's all you need. Double crit energy. Okay, very nice. Double crit energy. Okay, very nice. Double crit HP. Wow. Double crit. Wow. Okay, beautiful. Double crit everything. Yep. Yep. This Cartatia much better than yours. I would say this Cartatia looks way much better than any other Cartatias I've seen so far. The fact that this Cartatia's echoes have all the double crit and energy regen, and also it's pretty healthy HP. Wow. Hold on, let's see. So they are all S0 R1. Okay, wow, impressive. Chakona. I think one thing about Chakona is that I would like to have a bit more energy regen on her, like 130%, because sometimes I find it a bit like when it's time to rotate to her, you will lack a bit of that ulti to get Chakona ready for the next rotation. Then your rotation will kind of lag behind a bit because of not enough energy regen. F2P and getting quite a lot of signature weapons. Number one, you know your priorities. Number two, pretty blessed. Static miss, sure. Wait, what's this? Who's this imposter right here? Oh, hold on. Why do we have an imposter? Pretty sure something that should not belong there. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Crit damage, double crit. Okay, very nice. Double crit attack, very nice. 4 out of 5. Two lowest rolls, but it's a 4 out of 5, so that's very nice. Double crit liberation, okay, not bad. Yeah, but I see a distinct lack of energy regen here, so you might suffer a bit. As for this one, honestly, I would say you are much better off getting this because inflicting erosion on enemies increases this for all resonators in the team. So you want your 5 piece rather than a 4 piece plus one guy randomly out there. But I will lock that Havoc Prism for you so that you can use it for maybe dungeon. Because dungeon can work with heavy. So let's put this right where it belongs. Gamble 1 imagines a 5/5 substat. Do they even have enough to gamble? They have a lot of tuners, but they do not have a lot of tubes. I do not trust my current luck to help them gamble for one. Go for it. Okay, I'm gonna do plus 10 first. Look what I told you. Picking HP and defense. These two are best friends. They always, always show up. Anyways, let's continue on our Carlotta's review. I would say for Carlotta, you might want a bit more crit damage. Not crit damage, crit rate, if you can afford it. I would say 66% is on the lower end. You may want to aim for around 72-ish% because her ult has so many firing stages. And then imagine when you miss the first big shot and the last big shot. You can't really afford any more crit rate. Okay, let's see. Sentry Construct, double crit, resonance skill. This is nice. Double crit, resonance skill. This is also very nice. Okay, double crit. Pretty high roll, so I would say this is pretty nice as well. Ah, I can see why you mean. Oh my god. It's a 4/5. Oh, where's the crit rate? Oh. Okay, so if you... This is way too good to pass up, number one, is because the crit damage is so high. So I'll say that if you ever really go to the point where you have no one else to upgrade and you are like back here, I think maybe you just want to pray for a better one cost, because this crit damage lowest roll, this crit rate second lowest roll. So there's a lot of room for improvement for these two, which let's say if you get a 9.9, it would bring you to 69% crit rate, and that 3% extra crit rate will help you a little bit with your consistency. Yeah, min-max when you have the resources. For now, I would say you're doing pretty well. It's honestly impressive. Okay, Zian. I see a very distinct amount of 6 here. 66.8 to 68.8. 128 energy regens, okay. Burden submit, Then got his signature weapon. Double crit attack, sure, nice. Double crit, lowest roll crit rate, okay. Wouldn't say it's the best. Aero damage bonus, nice. 3/5, highest roll energy regen, low mid roll crit damage. This is okay, I guess. For me, I would say for me, my concern is not really energy regen, but since this is like so high, it's a bit hard to replace also. So let's see, let's check the rest. Double crit energy regen, double crit heavy. Man, this is another hard one to replace as well. Sierra, Gale hates you. Honestly though, if you ever do come back to TN in the future, keep this one, change out this one. This is lowest roll crit rate. And before you got those echoes, you cried. We have
あ
yet
な
to
たが新発
review
見があるといいですね
Verena. Definitely rebuilding your man. Are you sure you're not gonna pull for Galbrana or Chu Yuan? Then another man is lurking around the corner. I would say for Verena, you have S1. One more sequence, then your Verena will be godly. Skipping them. Alright, then that gives you quite a bit of time to work with your current resonators. I would say for now, right, you can use Call of the Abyss, but for me, I would just use a level 1 variation straight away. Because the passive of the variation is way too good to pass up. So in Tower, where you can swap the weapons, that's not a problem. But in Wuwa, when you cannot swap the weapons, this becomes a problem. She's missing her ER3 cost because SK stole them. I mean... Okay, these two are already energy vision. I mean... For me, what I'll do is +4 this one, so Verena doesn't feel as bad. And then I'll +4 this one as well for the energy vision. Not +4, +10. So that she has a bit more to work with. Then that I'll leave it at +10. So now she will have like closer to 200% energy regen. Then for Verena, if you... Okay, so I think it depends. If you are using your supports with Carthethia, then you will want Bellborn. If you're using your supports with everyone else, then I would say Fallacy is better. Only reason why is because Fallacy increases the attack by 10%. This bonus energy regen is always a good to have, but Carthethia doesn't scale off attack, so therefore Bellborn is better on Carthethia, and that's the only exception. Other times would be when you want to use Bellborn for hologram if you're having trouble in the hologram. Yeah, so I would say keep this Bellborn for Carthethia when you don't want to use Aero Rover. And for me, I don't really like using Aero Rover in Whimpering Waste because there's no point for me to stack 6 erosion stacks because they are not boss monsters. They do not need 6 erosion stacks. So Aero Rover in Whimpering Waste, in my opinion, slows down the team by quite a bit. Okay, anyways. Verena, let's see. Yep, attack, crit rate. Honestly, what the... what the shit? 21% crit damage, highest roll crit damage, and it's on your Verena. Okay. On anyways, before I got stunned by the 21% crit damage. For Verena, her echoes for Verena, her echoes, you just want to see energy regen. That's about it. Everything else is extra. So for example, crit rate, crit damage, attack, flat attack, and attack percentage. Those are bonuses that you want to see. Energy regen is all that supports really need. Okay. Encore. Cosmic Ripples. She took your crit damage. Yep. Okay. Double crit. Attack. Very nice. Double crit. Okay, that's pretty mid-rollish. I will consider this more of a 2-5. I don't really think Encore needs that much energy regen. So this could be better. Okay, this one. Another rude one. This is just rude. This is just rude. Okay, double crit basic. Yeah, but this is a very rude wolf. If you want to rework on Encore, right, you might want crit rate, cause her current crit rate is way too low. 46.1 is way too low, in my opinion. You might want a crit rate Inferno Rider, even though this is really good. So I'm not too sure how you're gonna get it, but Yeah, good luck. And then we have Rover, Aero Rover, Blood Pack's Edge. And then you're going for Pilgrimage, the DPS Rover. Oh, you intend on getting a crit rate rectifier, that's why. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Then I guess you can keep the Inferno Rider. I would say the best one to go for would be Yinlin's rectifier. Ooh, 3-5, very nice. This one needs work, but since Aero Rover is kinda don't really need too much of a work for now. Double crit, energy regen, okay, perfectly fine. Okay. Alright. We clearly know what needs work here. This one. But yeah, I wouldn't really say that Rover needs too much work because honestly, I wouldn't be very invested in Rover since he's not doing like a lot of damage. But you don't have it, you wait though. Or you could get the 4-star in Pioneer. I think you can wait. To be honest, Encore in Brad Lupa team, right? I wouldn't say that Encore is the one doing the most damage, right? it's going to be a friend at Lupa. So if they are clearing the endgame content enough as they are, then I think it should be good enough to let Encore be. Lumi, Discord, okay, yep. Moonlit Clouds. Moonlit doesn't really need a lot of investment, so it's not cracked, but it's still pretty decent. Mortefi, Cadenza, they're just clearly fine. Yeah, Encore is like the support teammate sort of. It's just there to cheer them on. Mortefi, Cadenza, I think you switch to Static Mist, right? When you need to make the swap. Then okay. Yep. Moonlit, I wouldn't expect anyone to really invest in Moonlit unless they have all the resources in the world. Okay, so I think that's pretty much for the account review. Now let's go to Wuwa. Okay, so what I would do here, right, is that for Carthethia, since your Carthethia is strong enough, Falling Star that tears Fade Apart could work. Alternatively, you could go with Plunderous Captain Steel, which is always the standard go-to for me at least. And I wouldn't use Rover, I'll use Verena because Verena is able to provide more heals to proc the Plunderous Captain Seal. Number 2 is that Rover just slows the whole rotation down, so I wouldn't really use Rover. If I'm using Brand, I might want to change his crit rate to 4 cost. Yeah, I'm using with Shawkeeper, but then Shawkeeper buffs, so yep. Okay, so Cartesia's heal, throw out the Echo, Jacona, finish the basic attack. I was too slow here. But when she starts, she'll do the cross. So pretend I did that properly. And then to Verena use the skill and the Echo, then back to Jacona and do the heavy. Then continue to go back to Cartethia and do this. And then back to Verena to charge up as well as Jacona again. Something like that. So if I were to do it very quickly, this is how it would look like. Okay, let me... Okay. No mistakes this time. Okay, nice. Oh, got that. Yeah, right back there. Okay, now we do this. And kaboom. Okay, so when I do this, and at the height of the skill, just okay, yeah. Heavy skill to Chakona, so that Chakona can just ulti right away. Boom.
食材破滅の一撃この一振りで悪を滅ぼそう
Boom.
神の包丁潰れなさい真の姿
ここに権限する最多
ご清聴ありがとう
滅びを告げるクリコ境界や謝罪
日向ぼっこの
Okay,
時
I
間
think
で
this
す
is a much better rotation. It's like slower, but everything is much more pronounced and has like
潮風よ
a purpose to it.
吹き荒れろ
神の恩寵汚れを払いましょうやっ崩れなさい静まれ
悔い改めろ真相罪の浄化
ご清聴ありがとう美しいハーモニー進化をお見せします
共に戦おう
やっ
高波よ天地を切り開け
Oh,
はっ悪党は沈みなさい 開演の時間だ
if I didn't choke on the last bit of rotation, I think we may have gotten a little bit more points. But alright. Okay, so for the rotation for this one, we'll have to slightly differ. We are going to have to build up Shorekeeper's Concerto and build up Brand's Forte at the same time.
Ado, Asta 入力破壊
雄たけびを上げろ勝利を追い求めて濁流を払いのけるついてこい吠えろ希望の声をより盛大に輝き
Yeah,
の瞬間
all so spread out.
息ぴったりだな
Gather everyone together
俺の勝利だ
and kaboom! Bruh.
演技
この身をもち誓いをなす
お手の物さ
神聖を授ける入力
おやしせ凱旋の歌をこの槍に
Take the spear and then do your swipe, 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 swipe. Okay, down. And then swap back to Lupa. And then swipe, 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 swipe. And then down.
アジは俺に任せろ
Forte burst. And then ulti.
一緒に行くぞ
Group all the chop chops together. And Brand go kaboom.
ついのち入りを告げる
Where am I facing?
焼却
もう終わりか
星の歌よ入力
おやし
Okay.
殺し合いの始ま
Brand
りだ
tap anchor. You mean like the utility wheel anchor? I guess it still does sort of work, like if you do it like this. Yeah, but you're gonna need enough damage.
これが心
ビビってるのか耳を澄ませ
アドアスト入力
おやし勝利を追い求めて
Go Luca, pick your spear and then swing. Ah, okay, this is gonna be very close.
クライマックスだ
Boom.
息
Gather all the chop together and anchor down. Bam. Okay, nice.
対の地入りを告げる。
Okay, that's all the rewards. Very nice. So yeah, if all else fails, Plunderer's Captain Seal is your next best friend. Pilgrim's Captain Seal only works when you have certain resonators that really spam their skills and will really rely on their ulti. So for example, like Havoc Rover plus Yang Yang plus Zhang Liao could use Pilgrim's Captain Seal because they can spam a lot of their resonance skill, which in turn allows them to quickly get their ult back. But aside from those, it's I would say Plunderer's Captain Seal is best. It's the best to use. Only time where it's not good would be that one Wuwa where they had a lot of electro-resistant enemies and which really nerfed this token to the ground. But yeah, other than that, Plunderer's Captain Seal is your best friend. Now let me be a bit of a busybody. Let me check your hologram. Oh, look at this, beautiful. This is what you call somebody who is self-sufficient. They know the mechanics of the game inside out. Good enough to clear all the holograms. And that's something worth celebrating. Yeah, that's beauty. Anyways, if you are ever around like this Wuwa place, don't forget to collect your bell crabs. Why? Because you never know when the devs might just add another few more bell shrine crabs, and then you're just gonna have to sacrifice all of your bell crabs again. So it's a good habit to just like whenever you are here, just collect all the bell crabs along the way. Break a few boxes here and there because they do give a bit of shell credits. Then speaking of shell credits, I would say that if you have the time, always come to the Fantasies of Thousand Gateways. So Fantasies of Thousand, above the Fantasies of Thousand Gateways, there's the bunch of rocks you can break. And when you do break them, you get a bunch of shell credits. So if you look at your shell credits, 600,070. And then when we break everything, you did TN and now you're doing Shopkeeper. Intro skill is at 10. Rest is at 7. Ooh. And break these ones over here as well. No, friend, no. Break these ones over here, not start flying. Thank you very much. Ah, and not climb either. Can I help you pull on Chukuna's weapon? Sure. And then you want to come to this location. This location right here. And then just jump off. And then jump down again.
Yep.
Break these bunch of rocks. Break them. And then go over to this beacon over here. I got one poo. You know what does Chukona need? Chukona needs... Ooh, you got Nightmare Cloud here. And that is +1 medium seal. Oh, advanced seal too. Even better. And then we break these rocks. Break them. And break some more of them. Okay, now maximum attempts reached. And now you have 69... Not 69, 690k. So if you're able to do that every day, eventually you're gonna get 200k in like... At least 200k in like... 10 days. Which is... For now it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you do it 100 days, you get 2 million. And so you won't... Just do it consistently for like 5 minutes a day. and you won't ever run out of shell credits unless you're raising every single resonator out there. But yeah, that's what you wanna do. And also, apparently, you haven't gotten the chest over here. Well, look what we got here, a hidden chest. Alright. Now we pull for Chakona. Weapon. Chakona's weapon. Alright. What will it be? Come, go, 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 go. Well, an attempt was made. Well, hope you've learned that your Carthathia team is actually very strong, and some bits of the rotation for Carthathia, and also that you should always stick to Thunderous Captain Seal. And that's honestly all you need for Wuwa.